At LHTC Broadband, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. We're your local choice for TV, phone, and internet. We offer high-quality cable TV service with HD, multi-room DVR, on-demand, and watch TV everywhere. Plus unlimited calling, and our internet is faster than ever with speeds up to 1 gigabyte. With no contracts and local customer service, switching has never been easier. Call today, 724-593-2411, or visit lhtcbroadband.com.
Next on Westmoreland Saturday Morning, Louise Henry from Go Laurel Highlands hosts Laurel Highlands Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net.
This podcast is sponsored by Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, a property on the UNESCO World Heritage List and entrusted to the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. For tours and educational programs, visit fallingwater.org. Also thanks to Ligonier Valley Historical Society's Compass Inn Museum, presenting Halloween Hauntings Storytelling Tours, 6 to 9 p.m. on October the 29th, 30th and 31st. Open daily Tuesday through to Sundays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. To find out what's happening and where, visit golaurelhighlands.com or follow us on Facebook at Go Laurel Highlands. Hello, I'm Louise Henry, and welcome to another episode of Laurel Highlands Happenings, featured on Westmoreland Saturday morning on Westmoreland Gold 98.7 FM and 1480 WCNS. This episode is part of the Laurel Highlands Happenings podcast series. Well, the trees are beginning to work their magic, and a spectrum of colour layers the Laurel Highlands like a colourful quilt. Crisp mornings, cooler temps, pumpkin is the flavour of the month, and Halloween decorations are starting to adorn homes and stores. We have reached October, and what better way to celebrate this glorious month than by taking a scenic drive through the Laurel Highlands to relish the stunning views throughout the region. Why not sip on some pumpkin ales or beers at the many craft breweries, or visit a haunted attraction? And in keeping with this theme, we have a special guest this month, which will transport you back to 1991, a year when the Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup, George H.W. Bush was president, and a gallon of gas cost $1.12. And Silence of the Lambs was the big box office hit. Our guest for October is Chris Rowan, owner of Buffalo Bill's House, the iconic home to the cinematic serial killer of the same name in the 5-time Academy Award-winning film The Silence of the Lambs. This house is now available for private rentals, and Chris is here to tell us all about it. Good morning, Chris. Welcome to Laurel Highlands Happenings. Thanks for joining us today. I know you're super busy.
Oh, good morning, Louise. Thank you so much for having me on your program. I've been looking forward to it. I'm very, very happy to be here and discuss Buffalo Bill's House.
Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. So this house is the film location for Buffalo Bill's House in the movie of The Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yes, that's correct. Buffalo Bill's House is, in fact, the actual filming location of the cinematic climax of The Silence of the Lambs, which, of course, includes the famous scene where Buffalo Bill, played by veteran actor Ted Levine, first meets Jodie Foster's FBI agent character, Clarice Starling. They have their iconic face-to-face moment at the front door. And yes, it is, in fact, the real door, which is super cool. It's one of my personal favorite attributes of the home. And fans will not only recognize the famed doorway of Buffalo Bill's house, but also the exterior of the home, which was used extensively, as well as our grand foyer, the dining room, and the kitchen leading to the basement, all of which had scenes shot in Silence of the Lambs between the two stars. There was also a number of sequences shot going into the famed basement as well.
Wow, this is really, really cool. Before we chat more about the house, just tell us a little bit about you. What brought you to purchase this house, Buffalo Bill's House? I mean, are you a fan of the movie or horror movies?
Yeah, I mean, to be totally honest with you, I'm a lifelong horror movie fan. I've been into it since I was a young boy. Certainly growing up in the 1980s, horror kind of had a renaissance and a revival in the 80s. And it was very popular, and I grew up right in the throes of that. of a lot of the old school slasher movies like, Halloween and Friday the 13th. And, of course, my love for the genre expanded, of course, seeing Silence of the Lambs in the early 90s. It's just such an iconic film that has such a permanent place in pop culture that that remains prevalent to this day. And my lifelong love as a fan kind of led to my professional career. I make a living in the film production industry as an art director and prop stylist. Basically, what that means is I maintain the aesthetics and deal with the props and the visual cues of filming sequences for films, commercials, and videos, as well as still photography. I'm also the host of the New York City Horror Film Festival, which is an annual event that takes place in New York City every year. That's geared toward independent horror cinema from around the globe. And we screen those films, and we also we have a full award ceremony that follows the event at its conclusion.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, Chris. That's a pretty cool career you've got right there. Now, so I bet you, when you heard that this house was on the market, I guess you snapped it up. But what was the real property like? It's located in Laurel Highlands, but do tell us more about the actual house itself.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So the beautiful home, it's a Queen Anne Victorian home in architectural style. And Buffalo Bill's house was built in 1910. It sits on just about 2 acres of private property, lush private property in the town of Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, which is roughly about 30 miles south of Pittsburgh. And Buffalo Bill's house has retained much of its original charm and original hardwood floors, original woodwork, light fixtures, as well as pocket doors, mantels, and fireplaces, which are all in pristine condition, really perfect for a weekend getaway. The famed Buffalo Bill's house also features a beautiful wraparound lemonade porch on the front, which faces the Youghiogheny River. We have a gazebo out back, a beautiful rose garden and fountain out front. There's also a 3-car detached garage, which has some historical relevance in the region for being the township's original general store, as well as post office, dating back to the late 1800s and early 1900s. And there's also a vintage train caboose from the mid-century on the property that sits next to our in-ground pool. Our in-ground pool is slated to open for the spring-summer 2022 season, and we even have a fire pit located on the expansive grounds, which is perfect for having a nice little cozy fire with some s'mores. The beautiful river views of the Youghiogheny River are easily seen from the house, and you can even rent a boat and go right down the river. Right across the street, there's a boat rental place as well.
Wow, this sounds absolutely lovely. I've seen pictures on your website, and it does look really, really nice. This is just wonderful location property to rent for a weekend or a week or whatever. So when you purchased it, was there a lot of renovations you had to do, especially if you had in mind if you were going to do rentals to keep it tying it in with the movie?
Yeah, there definitely was. I mean, basically what the goal was to create a place in Buffalo Bills that kind of was a perfect hybrid, a blend, if you will, of maintaining the visual aesthetics of a classic Queen Anne Victorian home while kind of peppering in a little bit of a dark sensibility of the film, utilizing props and noted features of the film peppered throughout the house. Things like we have Silence of the Lambs inspired rugs and throw pillows, and certainly a lot of artwork on the walls. All those things kind of play into the fact of creating the perfect blend of what would be traditionally found in a period correct Victorian home, while paying homage and respect to the film's historical relevance to the house itself.
Yeah, I bet it's a fine balance too. Did you? I'm sure it's been an absolute labour of love too. Any significant moments where you were doing all the renovations that just gave you real moments of joy, or maybe moments of pain too? Because I know it's probably, like I said, a labour of love and a lot of work, a lot of late days and nights.
Absolutely. I could safely say that within this past year, since earlier this year purchasing the home, certainly a lot of moments where it does honestly feel sometimes like the checklist will just never get done. But, you just keep bullet pointing them. You go one at a time down the checklist and make sure you're getting it all done. And sooner or later, you get to that end goal.
Right.
Probably the high point for me was devising the basement, which is something I affectionately call the Workshop of Horrors, which is a set that I built in the basement to mimic where Buffalo Bill does his famous dance sequence, as well as where his sewing station and victim torturing takes place. We have a fully functional disco ball, a full-length mirror. We have all the mannequins wearing appropriate 80s costumes and garb, which is really great. And kind of the pièce de résistance is I have speakers mounted in the ceiling that are motion sensor activated. So when you go down there and it picks up movement, it automatically plays the song Buffalo Bill does his famous dance sequence to, which is Goodbye Horses by the artist Q Lazarus.
You know, this is just brilliant. And the fact that your career really ties into all of this, because you've got all this wonderful technology to do this. I bet there's some great photo opportunities too for selfies and things down there in that basement.
Oh, absolutely. We are encouraging all our guests to go down there and literally take the photos of a lifetime. It's really what I'm calling an immersive experience. That being the fact that not only can you be in the home, but you can actually be on a set replicating what would have taken place on screen. A wonderful place to do Instagram and TikTok-worthy videos, recreate the Buffalo Bill dance. As we like to say, come down to Buffalo Bill's Workshop of Horrors, get your tuck on. Of course, Buffalo Bill is famous for his avant-garde dance, and it's really just a unique experience that I don't think is provided anywhere else.
No, you're absolutely right. This is absolutely unique.
One of the other things I wanted to touch upon, too, is that I haven't built it yet, but I am actually actively in the conceptual stage of, is we are going to recreate the famous well sequence that was famous to Silence of the Lambs. Now, that sequence was not actually shot in the home. It was shot on a soundstage due to spatial limitations, but I'm going to use my background in propping and production design via the film industry to create a secondary set in the coal cellar of the home where fans can go and have another unique photo op and photograph with the well and the bucket and the lotion and, of course, Precious the puppy. A little stuffed Precious puppy, of course, not a real one.
Of course. That sounds fantastic. Now, the house is now open for bookings, and you rent the entire house out to one group at a time, and it's not a bed and breakfast, correct? If you just want to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, the boutique accommodation known as Buffalo Bill's House is available actively for guest bookings. We opened Labor Day weekend, and very happy to have had some guests in so far that have been very happy with their stay. Guests will be pleased to know that when they book a stay at the charmingly infamous Buffalo Bill's House, that it's a completely private rental, which means they get exclusive access to the entire home with only the people they have booked with. We do not functionally operate as a bed and breakfast, so you will not stay with anyone outside your booked party. Only those in your booking party will be allowed on the grounds, and we can accommodate guests all the way up to 8 people. We have 4 bedrooms, so we can have a max occupancy of 8 guests at a time.
This sounds really great. If people that are listening and think, oh gosh, we really want to, we booked this unique place. What is the online reservations? Where can they find more information online?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you could check us out on our website, first and foremost by going to buffalobillshouse.com. On buffalobillshouse.com, you will find links to our booking platform under the Book Now headline, as well as all information. We have a full photo gallery of imagery of the house as it sits in its finished state, as well as a 10-minute video tour, virtual video tour to give a real feel of what the home looks like, showcasing, of course, all the filming locations, as well as the sleeping quarters upstairs, the sets in the basement, and the attic, which we affectionately call Buffalo Bill's house, Buffalo Bill's Playhouse, rather. Right. You can also find us on social media, on Instagram and Facebook at Buffalo Bill's House by searching those in the search parameters. And we're also on TikTok and Twitter at the handle Buff Bill's House.
You've got all the bases covered. Right. Now, Chris, before, because I'm going to ask you to walk us through the house, but before we do that, I just have to do a quick shout out to our awesome sponsors for this month, and then I'm going to jump back in to chat about the house a little bit more. This podcast is sponsored by Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, a property on the UNESCO World Heritage List and entrusted to the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. For tours and educational programs, visit fallingwater.org. Also thanks to Ligonier Valley Historical Society's Compass Inn Museum, presenting Halloween Hauntings Storytelling Tours, 6 to 9 p.m, October the 29th, 30th and 31st. Open daily Tuesday through Sundays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. To learn more about Pennsylvania's Laurel Highlands, visit golaurelhighlands.com or follow us on Facebook at Go Laurel Highlands. Welcome to Laurel Highlands Happenings, where we are chatting to Chris Rowan, the mastermind behind the new boutique accommodation of Buffalo Bill's house, which is located in Perryopolis. So Chris, tell us about the house. Walk us through it from room to room.
Sure, absolutely. So at Buffalo Bill's house, this one-of-a-kind cinematic destination with nothing like it else out there to stay at. Upon entering, guests will find our brand new, beautiful, period-correct furniture in the Queen Anne Victorian architecture, including a gorgeous dining room set in the dining room, the famous dining room where Jodie Foster as Clarice pulls her weapon on Buffalo Bill when she IDs him as the killer of the film. We also have a beautiful period-correct glassware for guest use in the famous curio, which is also featured in the film. We have a parlor room, which is complete with antique harp and a church organ, as well as a very large accommodating living room with comfortable couches and chairs to lounge on. Moving up to the second floor, guests will find beautiful four-poster beds, which are absolutely period correct. I love that part of it. It really harkens to another time, as well as the master bedroom. Each room is appropriately named after one of the main characters from the film. So, of course, our master bedroom suite is Buffalo Bill's suite. And then we have Hannibal-themed bedroom, a Clarice-themed bedroom, and we even have the Precious bedroom, of course, Precious being the Bichon Frise puppy that was owned by Buffalo Bill in the film. That bedroom has two twin beds, which are actually perfect for families visiting with small children. So we'd like to think that we cater to all walks of life and all situations for sleeping quarters. Guests will also have use of all the kitchen and the appliances. It's a fully functional kitchen. Stove and dishware will be included with your stay, and you're welcome to bring as much food as you like to cook, as it is completely functional. The house is really a perfect place to host a murder mystery night with your friends or family. You're also permitted to use our charcoal grill and our picnic area outside, and we have two picnic tables, a full-size and a kid-size, and we even carry the marshmallow skewers I mentioned earlier for making s'mores by the fire pit. All guests do receive a complimentary travel size of our famous Buffalo Bill's Skin Suit Soft Body Lotion. Nice. Of course, the body lotion is an integral part of the story and the famous quotes from the film, so we do provide a complimentary bottle for our guests, as well as a few other surprise gifts that are included for all our guests to stay. Some of the other things that are really wonderful about the house is the artwork. Much of the artwork which adorn the walls, which is all Silence of the Lamb-themed artwork from around the world, and fans of the movie. The works of the artwork, of course, portrays the Lord and Lady of the house, Buffalo Bill, and Clarice, as well as we have gilded, framed taxidermy death's head moths positioned throughout the home. Of course, the death's head moth is a famous central creature in the film that serves as Buffalo Bill's metamorphic inspiration. And we've been working super, super hard to create an unforgettable experience for the fans. And what we decided on offering was a private rental-based home, so you and your booked party will have exclusive access during your stay. And that ability to do that will let you have peace and quiet and explore Buffalo Bills at your own leisure.
Wow, this sounds really great. I just want to go back to, I'm just trying to imagine the death's head moth. How big is, have you got many, or is it just one framed one?
We have three of them positioned in the house. There's currently one in the dining room on the mantle, which is showcased in the film. We have one in our parlor room, mimicking the movie poster, the famous poster of Jodie Foster. Yeah. Where you find the death's head over her mouth, just as you see in the theatrical release poster, except it's a real death's head. And we also have a wonderful piece from the UK that was gifted to us by a very talented taxidermist positioned in the living room, which kind of incorporates our logo, which is, of course, the famous death's head moth, and utilizes a heart as the backdrop, which is part of our branded logo. So we do have 3 of them in the home, which is really fantastic.
That's really, really cool. And I have to go back to, you were talking about the moisturizer, the lotion. So that's that's really neat too, that you kind of incorporate that too. So you sell that as well, don't you? It's not just for guests, right? So
yes, absolutely. Yep. We do give out a complimentary bottle for all our booked guests, but we do sell it on our website, and you can contact us if you're interested in purchasing one. It is a all-natural shea butter, a coconut oil-based shea butter lotion. Very, very popular. We certainly do sell a lot of bottles of that. We also have a full line of Buffalo Bills House merchandise, including T-shirts and enamel pins, face masks, and we have our Clarice cherry-flavored lip balm, as well as tote bags as well. We're just beginning to roll out all our merchandise, and it's been a real hit so far. Everyone seems to love the lotion and the shirts and the other accoutrements. So it's a nice little souvenir that you can take home. We also do magnets. And if anyone is interested in purchasing any of those additional items when they book a stay, you can do that right off our website during the checkout process of your book stay. You could add a T-shirt or additional items at your leisure during the booking process.
That's really cool. I love all these different swag you've got going. Now, could a person order something online without being a guest? Is that
absolutely? Okay. Yep, absolutely. Yep. You could either DM us, direct message us on Facebook and Instagram. We can take orders that way. We are also actively getting our online store up and running on the website as well. We've shipped all over the country and all over the world, and we also sell things in person where we hit all the horror conventions on the East Coast right now. Pretty much weekly, and we have vendor booth at all those shows, and you're welcome to come see us on the road at some of those and pick up your item in person as well. But you could certainly do that on BuffaloBillsHouse.com as well as DMs through Instagram and Facebook on the Buffalo Bills House pages.
No, that's really great. I mean, I'm just thinking, Halloween around the corner. I mean, some great gifts for goodie bags for parties, or I know. I just thought it's some great swag you've got there. So listeners, do check out the website and order yourself some lotion for sure.
Yep.
Right.
Or else you get the hose again.
Right. Right. So now we talked about the basement. Do you want to add anything extra to that? Because we did touch on it earlier in the show. So
I would love to. I mean, I think guests are in for a real treat when they head downstairs to the infamous basement. I mean, it's an immersive experience. With my passion for the horror genre and love of all things spooky and macabre, I used the template of what would I like to experience if I came to a place like this, and that's what I wanted to provide for our fans of the film and guests of Buffalo Bills House. The sewing machine and the mannequins and the disco ball, of course, with of course we have the kimono. Buffalo Bill's famous kimono that he does his dance in. We have that strategically positioned on one of our mannequins, so you could put that on and literally reenact the Buffalo Bill dance. We really think it's an immersive experience. So, come on down to Buffalo Bill's House, put on that kimono, listen to Goodbye Horses, and get your tuck on. Don't forget to post and tag us at Buffalo Bills House on Instagram and Facebook with all your photos and videos. We love sharing user-submitted photos.
Oh, this is just brilliant. This is brilliant, Chris. So I know as well that you have created quite a cool retro games room in the attic. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's what I call Buffalo Bill's Playhouse. The Playhouse is kind of a fully retro rec room, game room experience. Basically something that would harken out of the 1970s or early 80s vibe. It's really kind of a wonderful transformation because I wanted to be able to blend the home itself with something that was a little bit more fun and a little bit more modern. So friends, family, and couples who are staying, have a place to go and unwind. That being said, what we did was we utilized the retro game room. We have 6 full-size arcade games, old school classics like Pac-Man and Galaga, Street Fighter, Asteroids. We have NBA Jam and Crazy Taxi, which is a driving game, a racing game. We also have a beautiful pool table upstairs as well for playing a game of billiards. That flips over and becomes an air hockey table. Great way to, have a cocktail, relax, and unwind. And we have a beautiful 75-inch flat screen TV with surround sound with a full smorgasbord of about 400 retro DVDs and VHS tapes with a fully functional DVD player and VHS player to watch retro movies on. So you could pick a movie of any of our libraries, sit back and relax. Of course, we also stock all the movies from the Silence franchise, the original and all its sequels, and we also keep all the books up there as well. So if anyone is interested in picking up the original novels by Thomas Harris and doing a read-through while they're in the real house, then we encourage that as well.
Wow. I'm just really impressed. You've got a 400 80s and 90s movies. That's pretty impressive. And VHS too, and DVD. Oh my gosh, I feel I have to come and see your library. Oh my golly, to go back in time.
Physical media is the best. Better quality than streaming. You get all the special features of the old DVDs and tapes, and Buffalo Bills is all about providing an immersive retro experience at a cinematic destination. And that's why I wanted to make sure I represented the physical media, the old school arcade games, and old school hobby games like, obviously playing pool and air hockey. And these are things that I enjoy, and I feel they harken to another time, and I feel it actually perfectly fits in queue at Buffalo Bills House, and that's what the Playhouse was created for people to enjoy and have a great time.
I think you've absolutely nailed it. So we've got a couple minutes left. Yep. So let's just recap for those that are listening about how to make reservations online on the website, and also are you offering any package deals, discounts, especially with Halloween around the corner? Are you doing anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd love to talk about my Halloween promotion that we're currently running. Our big push for Halloween is we're offering 13% off Halloween stays, active right now all the way up and through Halloween, October 31st. That 13% off discount is obtainable on our website and social medias. That promo code, which can be entered on our booking platform, is 13 off bills. If you enter the code 13 off bills, the number 13 off bills, you will save 13%. It's quite a hefty savings off our daily rates, so we encourage everyone to enter that if they're interested in booking a stay at Buffalo Bills House. Halloween's the perfect time to come and spend a night at Buffalo Bills House. We've also done some seasonal decorating at Buffalo Bills House, which you could see on our Instagram and Facebook pages. We've got pumpkins and hay bales and corn stalks, as well as some beautiful appointments in the living room, dining room, and parlor room and kitchen as well. Just some nice pumpkins, and really kind of sets the fall tone. A change is in the air, and autumn is upon us. So we definitely think Buffalo Bills House is the perfect weekend getaway for a night's stay in the Halloween season. Those interested in booking can, of course, check us out on BuffaloBillsHouse.com, where our booking platform lies, as well as Instagram and Facebook at Buffalo Bills House, and Twitter and TikTok at Buff Bills House.
Brilliant. You've got it all. It's great. Chris, it's been great to chat to you. We're so excited here at Go Laurel Highlands with Buffalo Bills House. The fact that it's in the Laurel Highlands, and we get to promote it for you. I wish you all the greatest success with this new property and this unique experience that you're offering to guests. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. Thank you
so much. It's a real honor to be a part of this show, and I appreciate your time. We're happy to be part of the Go Laurel Highlands community, and we look forward to having everyone for a stay.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Chris. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye. This podcast is sponsored by Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, a property on the UNESCO World Heritage List and entrusted to the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. For tours and educational programs, visit fallingwater.org. Also thanks to Ligonier Valley Historical Society's Compass Inn Museum, presenting Halloween Hauntings Storytelling Tours, 6 to 9 p.m. October the 29th, 30th and 31st. Open daily, Tuesday through Sundays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have been listening to another episode of Laurel Highlands Happenings on Westmoreland Saturday morning on Westmoreland Gold, 98.7 FM and 1480 WCNS. This episode is part of the Laurel Highlands Happenings podcast series. All events and businesses mentioned today can be found at golaurelhighlands.com, and if you are active on social media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
At LHTC Broadband, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. We're your local choice for TV, phone, and internet. We offer high-quality cable TV service with HD, multi-room DVR, on-demand, and watch TV everywhere. Plus unlimited calling, and our internet is faster than ever with speeds up to 1 gigabyte. With no contracts and local customer service, switching has never been easier. Call today, 724-593-2411, or visit lhtcbroadband.com.